So today we're going to compare all of these travel brushes that I have, including opening this new one by Fumui. So if you're interested in talking about travel brushes, then this might be the video for you. So hang out and we'll talk about it. Okay, so I have a lot of travel brushes, I would say. I've got synthetics. We can kind of divide them into two camps here. Vegan brushes and non. So these are animal hair, these are synthetic. So we're going to go through all of these. We're going to open this new one that I was just sent by Fumui. I actually really like the brand so far, and they've been really fun to send me things to try out. So let's do that. Okay, so I've had some of these brushes for a while. I think this is probably my oldest brush. So this is a Princeton Neptune size 10 round brush. And I don't know if I left it wet for too long, but the um, wood kind of flaked off. I don't know if you can hear my boys screaming, but just ignore that. Um, and this one, the tip didn't stay sharp for very long, but this is a great brush for just creating like big washes and stuff. So that's why I like that one. I ended up sanding the ferrule because I was tired of the paint flaking off. So there's that. And before I close them, I like to get them wet just so that the bristles stay down. But yeah, you can totally see how that tip is not, it's kind of got that little hook on the end. So there's that one. So this goes into the, I'm going to set aside the natural brushes and we'll just talk about the synthetics. These I got in Italy. They are from the brand Herend. I don't know if I'm saying that right. That's what feels right to me. I bought them from the shop owners, a cute little Korean couple, maybe. And these are just, I bought a tiny one. They're beautiful. It just says portable size too. So that's a tiny, tiny little dude. And they're very lightweight. Like they're probably the lightest ones I own, as you can see. And then here is a chunky size 14. So I wanted one of each, tiny and a big. So, but still really lightweight. It's even lighter than this. So there's those. And then these ones are fairly new. I put them back in the box recently, but these are from Tumuarta. The only products from Tumuarta I've tried are their sketchbooks. Here we go. And disclaimer, I have been using these for a couple months. I got them in June or July. And yeah, they're just your average, like synthetic brush. So they are synthetic squirrel. They're meant to mimic squirrel hair. So these ones don't come with a pouch. I don't ever use the pouches, so these gorgeous pouches are kind of wasted on me. So if you don't care about pouches, these are great. So you've got, sorry, let's see, we've got a size 8, a 4, and a 6. So there you have it. And like I said, I've had these since June or July, and the tips have remained pretty good. You got to take good care of your brushes, though. It's important. I can never get this in if it's dry. It's always a struggle. It's like playing Operation. Okay, so there's those. I'm gonna leave them out of the box now. These could be fun. These tubes, you could do something with them. I like to save boxes and packaging and things. Not, not to an extent where I become a hoarder, but if something's got a unique purpose that I can see, I will use it. Okay, and then we've got these. Now, these I did purchase with my own money. It's so funny because after I bought these, I got an email from Fuumuui asking if I wanted to try more stuff, and I was like, okay. So, I bought these with my own money, and I recommend them. I love these. So they're double-sided, and they have all different shapes. We've got dagger, round, um, flat, detail, and cat's tongue. So let's see. We've got 2 rounds, a 6 and a 10, and it's a good size round. A flat, dagger, detail, and cat's tongue. So let me show you how these work. They're kind of interesting. So we'll open. I actually haven't used the dagger much. I'm not really like I don't think I've used it at all. Gosh. So what you do is you keep one end screwed on. Now the only thing is with other brushes, you take the lid and you pop it on the end. But with these, you have to put this somewhere and not lose it. So if that's going to be a problem for you, I won't recommend these. Otherwise, they're great. Um, so since that's not been used, just going to get kind of the glue off so you can see it better. And they're beautiful. So this is black metal. This is stamped in, so it's not going to rub off. Then this is size 10 round. I've used this one a ton. I like a big size round brush. Okay. So as you can see, I'm sorry if you hear screaming. That's my family. They're just playing video games together or something. um, then here is the 6 flat. I have used this one a bunch. I love this one for swatching. I love making little swatches. Now, don't go buy this yet. Finish the video because I have another double-sided set coming up that I haven't even opened yet. So the only like trick is sometimes as you're trying to pull this side off, the other side wants to come off. And so you get used to it pretty quick. But here is a detail. So this is a small size too, but it's kind of a longer, almost liner length. Not quite. There's that one. And then we've got our cat's tongue. I have not used the cat's tongue yet. I'm a round brush kind of girl generally, but I haven't even taken the glue off. Let's get that off. By the way, this container, this was like a Winsor Newton masking fluid jar or something, gum Arabic, I don't know. But it was all gone. It was empty. So I decided to use it as my water container for my travel kit. I love having a little water container that I can dip my brush in. And this one's so far my favorite. And the lid is super secure because it's the kind you have to push down to open. So like a little kid couldn't get a hold of it. This is the tiniest cat's tongue brush I've ever seen. So cute. Here is a 6 round. See how this one side wants to come off? So it's a little tricky. So there's your size 6 round. These are nice. These are also synthetic squirrel. I'm going to go ahead and finish showing you the squirrel brushes that I have, the natural hair brushes, and then at the last we'll open the new one. I'm excited about it. Okay, so you guys know I love silver black velvet. They are my brush. I love these brushes. So this one I invested in a few years back. This is a size 8 round, and they are squirrel. I think they're synthetic and squirrel or synthetic squirrel. I'm pretty sure they're synthetic and squirrel. So like a mix. So there's that. This one has a little hook on it too. You just have to be gentle with them. And I'm really, as you guys know, I'm not the most gentle on my brushes. It has been established. So there's that one. I love these. I would love to buy more of them. This one's funny though. I've almost wondered if I got a knockoff because the labeling rubbed off. So let me know, do you have a silver black velvet travel brush and has the labeling rubbed off of it? I would love to know. Okay, now this set is really special to me. I got it at a artist supply swap. I traded a set of Holbein gouache for these to my friend Nora with Salt Lake City Urban Sketchers. So that's what these are, is a beautiful trade from my friend Nora. And they are Escoda. These are the Escoda Reserva. Okay, so this would be it. These are not cheap, and I traded them for, like I said, a Holbein gouache set that I paid probably $100 for. Let's see. So this is the size 6 that we're looking at right here. And they are made in Barcelona, which is really cool. Let's read about it down here. Okay, pure Kolinsky Tajmir Sable Artist Paintbrush. Considered the very best hair for watercolor painting. Only the best male Kolinsky hair is used for the Reserva series. Okay, so this set is hair, Kolinsky hair. So anyway, these are not anywhere near the price range of the rest of these brushes. So there's these. So it comes, this one's the largest, a size 6, and a 2, and a 4. So honestly, like, these are a little small for my taste, but I keep them in a kit with a smaller palette and a smaller sketchbook. So that's fine. Anyway, these are expensive compared to all the sets that I'm talking about today. So this one costs more, just this brush, than any of these sets. So, but I just thought today would be a good time to show all my travel brushes, except for the plastic ones that hold water. Those are not, we're not talking about those today. Okay, so here's another Fumui set. All the links to these will be in the description if any of these catch your eye and you decide you want to invest. It's not like a huge investment, honestly. They're not that bad. So these are Squirrel, and they make me think of like a silver bullet. So here is a size 12 round. Now, these are like the screw-on cap, which drives me crazy because I'm the laziest person on the planet. I prefer like a pop-on or a snap cap. But can you see how soft this is? Like, it's soft. So I would say it's comparable to silver black velvet, but still actually a little bit stiffer. So yeah, they're beautiful. They're quill style. They have this plastic ferrule with the quill style. I don't even know what to say. And there's, like I said, a pretty decent size 12. I mean, for sketchbook work, these are pretty decent sized. Here is a size 8. So that's actually a pretty good range, I feel like. And if you're curious about my fabulously gorgeous paper towel, it's actually like paper towel from the paint section at the hardware store. It's almost like a shop towel, and you can wash it out and reuse it. So I love these. I've been using them a lot lately. I'll put the link in the description for those as well. Okay. Last but not least, we've got, oh, my little dude fell over. What should I name this? I've had it in my studio for like 2 years now. I feel like he or she needs a name. Just facelessly staring at me all day long, but it makes me happy. All right, last one. So this is, I know these are double-sided. I'm excited to try we're going to compare them to the other double-sided set because I think they're the most comparable. So it's the same case as those Squirrel ones, same size, same everything. See that? Same case, a different case than the longer double-sided, and you can see it's a little bit different. In case you're curious, the logo looks a little different on this one too. So here we go. It's the same leather, it looks like. Same similar, probably not exactly the same. It's a little different. So if you're wanting vegan, this is not vegan. Like the case is leather. These are synthetic squirrel, just like those others. So these ones are silver and with a little gold band. And just like these other ones, let's compare. So this is the comparison. They're shorter and they also come with cat's tongue, 6 round, 1/4 inch flat, 1 detail, 4 dagger, and 10 round. So let's open them up. Okay. So it's probably very similar. It's just a different, little bit of a different design here. I don't know why everything's rolling on my desk today. So there's your dagger and your 10 round. These are actually compared to, let's say, these, I feel like this is stiffer. This is much softer. Yeah, these are stiffer. So if you like a more bouncy, springy brush, I definitely think the synthetic squirrel, the double-sided, these, because these ones are a lot softer. All right, let's get all that. I can feel the gum arabic or glue or whatever it is. Whoa. So you're not gonna want to use these like this. That would be weird. I mean, you could, I guess, but you're gonna want to keep one cap on at all times and paint like this. All right, let's open the next cat's tongue. The adorable, tiny cat's tongue. These are a lot easier to get the glue off of than some of the other Fumui brushes that I've used. There's that. And here's our size 6 round. And then here's the 1/4 inch flat and the 1 inch detail. Now, when you open one side, you kind of just keep your hand on the band here, and that helps you open it without issues. So these are just exactly like these. The brushes themselves are exactly like. Let's look at the flat, compare it. So the band on this one is a little harder to get a hold of, but I have really long hands, and so I like the longer ones. So let's see the differences. The hair itself is the same, but the look is different. These ones are a little more premium feeling, honestly, with the wood barrel there. I love the way these feel. The longer black ones. These are my favorite so far. But yeah, the hair's the same. So you don't have to worry about picking between them because you're getting the same hair. So it comes down to the style. Do you like the longer style? Do you like the shorter, these silver ones? And then it might come down to price point. Sorry, gotta get that on there right. And then our last one is, let's see, I think, did we open them all? Dagger, round, detail. Oh, we haven't opened this one yet. So there's our flat. Yeah, we opened that one. I don't think I opened this side. Here's our little itty bitty detail brush. Just exactly like the other one. Yeah, so what do you think? Would these double styles be good for you? You get 6 brushes with just 3. It's like you're carrying 3 brushes, but you get 6. Would it drive you crazy having to put the cap somewhere? At first, it bothered me, and then I realized I have tons of little spots in my kit that I can just slip it in there and then pull it back out when I'm done. So far, it has not been an issue for me. I've not lost one of the lids. I've been using these on the couch, and I really enjoy these. So I'll try these ones and see how they feel. They feel heavier. I'll be straight. Like these do feel a little heavier. I'd have to weigh them though to know. 'Cause I don't trust my brain to gauge stuff like that. And then we've also got these Tumuarta ones. These might be a good fit. I think these were the lowest price point. But there's so many travel brushes on the market. Let's play with these. Now, Fumui also sent me this awesome watercolor paper block. I have tried their other block. Let me grab it. This is the one they sent me first. I'll be straight. I don't think they sell this one anymore. I think that they either turned this into this, because they did email me at one point asking if I wanted to give input on their new paper they were making. So let's compare. These are both almost the same size. They're quite similar. This one's 8.3 by 11.7 inches, which is also 21 centimeters by 29.7 centimeters. While this one is 23 centimeters by 31, so 9 by 12. So this is the 8 by 11, this is 9 by 12. I prefer the 9 by 12. That's as small as I ever go when it comes to pads or blocks. So I've actually been using this one quite a bit, as you can see. It's really kind of smooth. See, can you see the texture? Here you go. It's kind of a smoother texture. All right, let's get this bad boy open. I'm using my little slice tool that I got at NAMTA for free. I love this thing. I actually bought more. It's great for opening packages without cutting yourself. If you're anything like me, I love that they protected the corners of the block. I've never had that before. This is good idea. All right, so there's no top sheet on this one, and the area to cut the sheet off the block is at the top, which I totally prefer. Somewhere on the side, I don't like that. I like it at the top, so the paper stays secure while you're painting. So let's go ahead and compare the two. So the old Fumui paper is a lot softer. You can totally see the difference in texture. I think I prefer the new one. Today we're going to paint this pumpkin that my Davy bought me. And I'm just going to kind of use all the different brushes and try to go through them. I can't promise I'm going to use all of them, but I will do my best to kind of rotate. So I'm going to start off with the largest round. And I'm using my Art Toolkit palette. The link will be in the description. And I'm using my Daniel Smith watercolors. I really do love the texture of this paper. You guys know I love the Fabriano Artistico and the Magnani 1404, but I can honestly say I recommend this block. If I was going to go buy a block right now, I would totally buy this paper. Spoiler alert, I put it to the test in this video and it passed. So you'll see that at the end. So here I'm using kind of, a good amount of water. When I try a new paper, I really want to try wet and wet. I want to try using tons of water. I want to try masking fluid. I want to try tape. I want to try lifting, scrubbing, all the things. So we're going to put this paper through kind of my test by painting this little pumpkin. You're welcome to paint along at home. Grab a pumpkin, grab something, and get painting. Yeah, the link for everything is in the description. And honestly, like Fumui has sent me these products, but I was buying Fumui before they started reaching out. I actually really like this brand. And it was really exciting when they reached out and asked if they could send me things because, like I said, I was already purchasing their products and probably would have purchased these brushes. I bought the black set, the longer one, like I said, with my own money, and I love it. I sprinkled water on. This is one of my favorite things, especially on your first layer. If you want to loosen up a little bit, just get crazy, sprinkle some water on, let it dry, and you'll get a lot more fun, loose texture that way. So I am going to go ahead and turn on some music for you guys while you watch me paint. And I hope you just get relaxed and enjoy this. If you're listening while folding laundry like I do, or cleaning or whatever, I apologize for the lack of dialogue here for just a little bit, but enjoy the music. So that was pretty funny. It was clogged and I didn't know. You'll notice here I'm getting a lot of bubbles. Do not shake your masking fluid. Don't be like me. You never want to shake it. You want to roll it in your hands gently. You do not want bubbles. I worked with it. I made it part of the project. I'm really good at that. When I make a mistake, like Bob Ross says, and now they're birds. So I just kind of went with it. But I'm just using this Daniel Smith masking fluid in the bottle. It's just a really good, basic, trustworthy masking fluid. And while that dries, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a little bit of lifting using a brush. So I'm just using one of the travel brushes to do some very, very gentle scrubbing. And then I'll use a paper towel to lift. Now I'm using a silver company scrubber brush. These are really inexpensive. They're very rough on your paper though. I put 2 links in the description for 2 different options for these. And these, if you want to test your paper, these are the way to do it. They are like a really stiff acrylic brush. Like you could use it on your barbecue grill maybe to clean it because that's how stiff they are. So I was really impressed. I was scrubbing really hard and the paper did not pill. I'm really impressed. Okay, now I'm switching to the dagger brush in the longer handled synthetic Squirrel dual tip brush. This one's got such a nice fine point on it. I figured it would be good for my second layer details. Dagger brushes are really good if you are a botanical artist and you do a lot of leaves and florals. I still don't really use them for their intended purpose, but I use them nonetheless. Okay, now I'm switching to that itty bitty number 2 detail brush and adding a little green speckles on my pumpkin. I like to use my finger as like a stamp. So I'll put down a couple dots and then I'll use my finger to stamp it around. It's really fun. You do that for hairs and stuff on pet portraits as well. I'm just adding details to that stem. It's a great little detail brush. While that dries, I'm going to start on the shadows and kind of a background. You'll see I'm going to use the largest Squirrel mop brush so that you can see how much water this bad boy holds. So I'm using the color Shadow Violet, which is my favorite shadow color from Daniel Smith. And I just love it. Sometimes when you mix a little bit of like quinacridone gold or something warmer with it, you get this beautiful, like warm shadow, almost like a brown. And so I think it was a little tainted when I first grabbed it out of the palette. But look how much water this brush holds. It's insane. The masking fluid is still wet, as you can see, so I'm just painting everything else until the masking fluid is dry. You really don't want to use a hairdryer or a heat tool on the masking fluid because it will fuse with the fibers of your paper, and then you really won't get it off. Even if you're using the best paper on earth, it's not going to come off very easily. So I'm just biding my time, and look at, I can't believe how much water this brush holds, but look at me soaking up and grabbing and like lifting because I always look at my brushes like a sponge. You can actually use it to lift while paint is wet and get water back off the paper if you use too much. But I am really putting this paper to the test. It stayed fairly flat while painting and only had a slight curve to it in the end, as you will see. But I'm also using that Shadow Violet to give some dimension to the pumpkin itself. Great color. Highly recommend it. One thing I will say about the floppier natural squirrel brush that I'm using here is I often take Daniel Smith watercolor sticks out plein air painting with me. And the floppier brushes struggle a little bit more if you're painting directly from the stick, like you're putting your brush on the stick to get pigment. I feel like I struggle a little bit more with a floppier natural hair than I do with a synthetic. Like the synthetic stays snappier and it stays firmer while you're trying to get pigment off the stick. So just be aware of that. Okay, now I'm switching to the Tumuarta size 8. That's also synthetic. And it's around $15 for this set. I bought this one before I had the others, the other Fumui brushes. And I really like it. It's snappy. They're inexpensive, so I don't feel bad if I'm a little rougher with them because I didn't spend a whole ton of money. So the one thing I will mention is because they are snap-on rather than a screw lid, they can loosen up over time. So just be aware of that. There are caveats to being lazy. Imagine that. So here I'm just layering a little more color. I just feel like I wanted it to pop a little bit more. And I'm using a very gentle hand so I don't lift all those cute little green speckles that I previously added. But these brushes are great. If you need to use a gentle hand, they still allow you that while remaining snappy. Okay, now it's time to remove that masking fluid. This is a little craft eraser. You can actually get these at the Dollar Tree here in the US. I got this one on Amazon for about $4 or $5. And you kind of have to just go to town with it. So because there was so thick masking fluid in this spot, I fully expected the paper to tear. So let's see what happens here. And I have to get aggressive, so I'm sorry if the camera gets a little unstable. But I love removing masking fluid. It is the most satisfying thing ever. If you really want to test a paper, use some masking fluid or some tape. I did not put tape on this. I felt like the masking fluid was sufficient. And yeah, so there we go. Looking pretty good if you ask me. So there's only one spot, like I said, where the paper even remotely looked like it peeled, right there where it was the thickest. It's slightly, but it's so imperceptible. I'm quite impressed with this paper. So I'd love to hear what you guys thought about the brushes. Which set do you think you'd go for? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Have an amazing day.